Welcome back to the diesel stop. Well, today I'm out here working on a 24 valve Cummins. This is a 2001 two-wheel drive, and it developed a pretty good oil leak. So this gasket where it's at, it's pretty hard to get to. Got to tear a lot of stuff apart on this thing to get to it. You got to pull the injection lines, the injection pump, the fuel filter housing, the ECM, the grid heaters, the bell crank, and part of your intercooler boot there. And so as you can see on the bottom right down here where it's really wet, that's where the oil is coming from, is this gasket that sits right back here behind this tappet cover. And get to that tappet cover, you got to pull this injection pump. Well, some good friends of mine there at Tork Technology, they sent some tools out for this project here, and Tork Tools has some pretty awesome stuff, and they're very affordable as well. Tork Tools is one of my sponsors, so special thanks to Rob for sending this stuff out to me here. And this in here is for the P7100 and the VP44 and the CP3 injection pump. This in here is for the VE, the P7100 and the VP44. And this pump on this 24 valve here happens to be a VP44. So either one of these tools will work on this project. I'm going to try this one out right here and see how it works out. This here is a 24 valve. This one's out of a 98 model, but basically the same motor here, second gen 24 valve Cummins. And as you can see, this is the cover that I'm going to pull off on the truck that I'm working on right now. And these gaskets, they get dry rotted, and once they go to leaking oil, boy, they sure can cause a lot of headache. And a friend of mine there, he's going through about 2.5 gallons for about 3 hours of driving, so it's leaking pretty good. As you can see, I just barely pushed on this gasket here, and once they get old, they get dry rotted. And this is how easy they do rip, as you can see. So if you're this far into a project like this in here, this is going to get a P7100 injection pump. I'll go on ahead and put the new gasket on this motor on the side cover here before I put this in the truck. So one of the things that you want to do on these 24 valves with this VP44 on it is turn your motor over by hand. Obviously a lot of the electronics are disconnected, and the batteries are disconnected already on this truck, so the easiest way to do it here is just to if you got a good fan belt, you can put as a good serpentine belt, you can get a 22mm socket and put on the alternator, and the motor will turn over. Or if you have a crappy belt like this one was, you'll have to get a 15mm socket and put it on the dampener and turn it over down there on the crankshaft, because you want this keyway right here on this injection pump on the top. I don't even know if I can get my mirror hold steady enough to show you, but there's a keyway slotted into that injection pump. So the keyway is sitting on the top now, and you want to do that before you pull your pump, because if you don't, you'll end up dropping your keyway into the bottom of your front cover, and then you got a bigger mess on your hands, because you're going to be worried if you landed the keyway on a gear. So the other thing is those keyways are numbered, so you definitely want to hold on to your keyway and not drop it in the bottom of your motor. So I'm going to rig up this injection pump gear puller here from Tork Tools and get ready to pull this gear away from this injection pump here. On this gear puller here, so what it consists of is the plate and the 2 bolts. On that motor that I showed you there in the garage, the 24 valve Cummins there, I did take the injection pump off that motor. I am going to put a P7100 injection pump on it, so I'll have to change out the front cover and the injection pump gear anyhow. So whenever I pulled that pump off that motor in the garage there, I went down to our local hardware store, or our local auto parts store, and bought a gear puller. And the first thing that happened was one of the bolts broke off into the gear, which is no big deal because, like I said, the front cover's coming off that motor anyhow. So on a project like this, I don't plan on tearing into the front cover, and so I really don't want to break any bolts off. I'm pretty curious to see how these tools are going to work out here. So I have a 13mm wrench. I have ran the bolts into the gear, and I have put the plate on there, and I barely turned it and this thing broke loose fairly easy. This tool here has definitely worked out very well. So now that the pump gear is slid back, I'm going to leave the tool on for a few minutes. I'm going to go on the back side and pull the injection pump out. Here's the VP44 injection pump, and as you can see, this keyway is numbered. It says 086 on it right across here, and this keyway is loose, so that's one of the reasons I rolled this motor over to where the keyway was on top of the injection pump before I pulled it, because if you lose that keyway down into the front of your front cover here, you're going to end up having to take a lot of stuff apart, because one of the things you wouldn't be for sure of is if that keyway would land on top of another gear, and then the first time you fire it up, well, you done tore up some stuff. So same with the washer. When you take the nut off the front of the injection pump, and after you get the nut off there, this washer, got to be careful that you don't drop that down into the front cover as well. And this is the nut and washer that hold the gear onto the injection pump. So I've got the cover off the side of the motor here now, and as you can see all your push rods and the top of your tappets there as well. So there's one bad spot in this gasket. Once these gaskets get old, they shrink and they crack, and as you can see, it was split in two right here. That was the only bad spot on this gasket. But I'm sure the rest of the gasket's pretty well dry rotted, and as you can see, it just kind of crumbles apart. So that's what it looks like.